Sarada is actually already stronger than Sasuke and Madara, even if a lot of fans are still in denial about it. Her potential is just so much higher that compared to them, she honestly looks like the next step in Uchiha evolution. Ohirume isn't just some random move, it's this almost limitless ability that people are totally sleeping on. But here's the big question everyone is staying quiet about. What is her second eye hiding? What kind of Susanoo is she going to get? And could it end up being the most dangerous one in the entire history of the clan? Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex isn't just another chapter. It's the official launchpad for Sarada's true potential. If you're still sitting there thinking she doesn't measure up to the legends, I really hope you stick around until the end of this video. Honestly, after this, there's just no way to argue against it. Before we jump into today's content, I want to share something personal. My birthday is coming up soon. It would honestly mean the world to me if we could hit 10,000 subscribers in the next 5 months. I've been putting in a ton of effort, uploading videos almost every day, and the best birthday gift I could ask for is your subscription and a like. Now, let's get into today's main topic. Sarada Uchiha isn't a traditional Uchiha in the way we've been used to for decades, and that's exactly what makes her the most powerful being in the clan's history. Yeah, you heard me right. For generations, we were told the Sharingan's power is fueled by darkness and the unbearable pain of loss. We were told the Uchiha were destined to suffer to find greatness. But Sarada just completely shattered that myth. Her Mangekyou Sharingan didn't wake up because of a death or because she hated the world. It was triggered by pure, crystal-clear love and a desperate, burning desire to save a friend. Isn't that just amazing? It's a total game changer. If the old-school Uchiha were slaves to their emotions, Sarada is the one in charge of hers. And if you think she's just another strong shinobi, you're definitely missing the big picture. We are literally watching the birth of a new deity. Many of us have been wondering, what can her eyes actually do? Well, thanks to the latest chapters of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, we finally have some answers that really get the heart racing. The primary technique of her right eye is called Ohirume. Let's really break down what Ohirume actually is, because it's the foundation for understanding her strength and future potential. This isn't just some fire or a basic illusion. Ohirume is gravity manipulation on a level we've only ever seen from Rinnegan users or the Otsutsuki themselves. Sarada creates black spheres that act like localized singularities. Unlike Chibaku Tensei, where everything is pulled toward a single point, Sarada can control 4 spheres at the same time. She picks the targets. She's like a conductor on the battlefield, and gravity is her instrument. Can anyone actually escape Ohirume? In Chapter 21, we saw Sarada go up against Ryu's iron sand. Sand that should have crushed everything in its path just became completely inert. It turned into a useless pile of weight under the crushing gravity of Sarada's spheres. Ohirume is absolute spatial control. If an enemy can't move, they can't fight. If we look at the science of our favorite anime universe, these Ohirume spheres create tidal forces of incredible density. Mathematically, you can think of this as a warping of the space-time metric. Sarada can locally change the gravitational potential V such that the force vector becomes practically infinite within the sphere's radius. This lets her do more than just pull enemies in. She can actually use the spheres to fly. This is such a cool discovery. By balancing between the pull of her own spheres, Sarada achieves Otsutsuki-level mobility. She literally glides over the battlefield without ever touching the ground, making her unreachable for most ground-based attacks. Have you noticed how much thought the authors put into naming these techniques? Sasuke and Itachi used Amaterasu, the sun goddess, but Sarada uses the name Ohirume no Muchi no Kami. That's an even more ancient, majestic name for the same goddess. Why does that matter? In Naruto, Amaterasu is destructive fire, the sun that burns. But Ohirume is the sun as a celestial body itself. It's the mass, the light, the center that everything else revolves around. In mythology, Amaterasu hid in a cave and plunged the world into darkness. Sarada is the one leading the Uchiha clan out of that curse of hatred cave and back into the light of the will of fire. Her Mangekyo design, which looks like a shining sun with rays, is a visual manifesto of her role. If the right eye is gravity, the body of the sun, what's hiding in the left? We've only seen hints in 2 Blue Vortex. Let me share my thoughts on this. I call it Golden Amaterasu. We might even see this power surface after the events in Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. She'll need a way to stop Mamushi, and as we know he's not alone, there are at least 50 of them. If even half of them end up in Sarada's range, she could potentially wipe them all out instantly. This fits the vibe of the new chapter perfectly. Imagine a fire that doesn't burn but restores. We know Sarada is the daughter of Sakura Haruno, the greatest medic of her time. It would be so poetic and logical if her Sharingan combined Uchiha power with Sakura's regeneration. A golden flame could heal allies' wounds or even reverse cell degradation. In a world where enemies use chakra absorption and matter decay, an antidote like that is a total necessity. Also, gravity and time are linked. If Sarada can warp space, she can influence time. I suspect her left eye might create time dilation zones. How do you beat an opponent who is faster than you? Imagine a fight against Kawaki. He attacks instantly, but Sarada activates her left eye, and suddenly his movements are slow as molasses. She becomes untouchable, turning any fight into a tactical game of chess. But that's not all. I know you're here to hear about the Susanoo, and I'm convinced it's going to be something completely different. Forget those dark, giant, demonic warriors Sasuke or Madara had. Sarada's Susanoo will likely look like a divine empress majestic, in bright red or gold armor. In Japanese mythology, Amaterasu had a connection to Kushinada Hime. I believe Sarada's Susanoo will be the embodiment of protective power. It could even be armed with Itachi's legendary artifacts, the Yata mirror and the Totsuka blade. But how would she get them? Those artifacts aren't physical objects, they're spiritual energy. Since Sarada is the heir to Itachi's will through Sasuke, her chakra might naturally form these tools. The Yata mirror, which reflects all attacks, fits her reflection of light theme perfectly. However, everything comes with a price, and the manga author hinted at this by showing Sarada's vision problems. The Mangekyo is a gift with a bitter aftertaste. The more you use it, the closer you get to blindness. Sarada doesn't have a brother whose eyes she can take for an eternal Mangekyou Sharingan. So what's she going to do? Lately, the story has been focusing a lot on Hidari. He has a Rinnegan and Sasuke's DNA. Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex will be the start of their final showdown. It's likely that after Mamushi does whatever he's planning, Hidari will show up on the battlefield. Boruto will probably take out Mamushi after he absorbs Ada, and Hidari will have to swoop in to grab his Thorn Soul. As I've said before, Hidari is the perfect solution. If Sarada defeats Hidari, she could use his eyes. They would be her father's eyes, but in a new, biologically clean and buffed form. It wouldn't just be a transplant, it would be reclaiming a legacy boosted by Ten-Tail cells. But there's another path I actually like even more. We know Sarada trained with Sakura, even if it wasn't for long. We also know about the seal on Sakura's forehead that provides constant cell regeneration. If Sarada can keep a Byakugo seal active while using her Mangekyo, she could heal her optic nerves faster than they can be damaged. That would make her the first Uchiha to beat the biological curse of their eyes using her own strength rather than stealing someone else's eyes. And of course, there's one more option. We saw Himawari effortlessly heal Inojin's injuries. She saved his life and restored everything from his organs to his chakra pathways. I wouldn't be surprised if Himawari just heals Sarada's eyes when she starts to go blind. That would let Sarada use her eyes permanently. I think that's a really sweet option too. In the 2 Blue Vortex era, the enemies are basically gods. Jura, Code, Kawaki, each one has the power to wipe out a village. Where does Sarada fit in? Because of Ohirume, she becomes the ultimate zone control fighter. She'll likely be able to expand her influence even further. She is the heart of the team. She doesn't just fight, she creates the conditions for victory. We might see this play out as early as the end of Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. But let's take a step back and look at Sarada not just as a set of powers, but as a system error in the entire philosophy of the Naruto world. This is where most fans get stuck. They compare her to Sasuke and Madara using the old rules. How much destruction can she cause? Can she beat them 1v1? Does she have a huge chakra reserve? That's a fundamental mistake. Sarada doesn't have to follow their path because she was created as the opposite of the Uchiha's tragic logic. If Madara was the will to dominate and Sasuke was the will for revenge, Sarada is the will to preserve and restore, and that makes her more dangerous than anyone. For the first time in Uchiha history, we have a character whose strength scales from presence, not loss. People died around Sasuke. eras crumbled around Madara, but around Sarada, allies get stronger. That's a key difference many people miss. Ohirume isn't just gravity control, it's a metaphor for being the center. Sarada is the point of attraction around which the battlefield, the team, and the story itself are built. She doesn't crash into the plot like a disaster, she rewrites its orbit. Here's the part that's hard for old school fans to hear. Sarada is the first Uchiha whose power truly scales with time rather than tragedy. Sasuke and Madara peaked during crises. Their power exploded but demanded a heavy price. Sarada is different. Her abilities grow through experience, alliances, and control. It's a completely different type of evolution. To use an analogy, Madara and Sasuke were weapons of mass destruction, but Sarada is the infrastructure of future warfare. Look at how Ohirume works in the long run. It's a technique that doesn't require the instant destruction of an enemy. It breaks the very possibility of resistance. Space control, taking away mobility, isolating targets, it's all perfect for long-term conflicts against Otsutsuki-level threats. That's why she's more dangerous in a massive battle than a simple duel. Conceptually, she's already ahead of Sasuke and Madara in this area. Plus, her emotional stability isn't a weakness, it's a force multiplier. The old Uchiha were always teetering on the edge of self-destruction. Sarada keeps a clear head even when things get crazy. That means fewer mistakes and better survival. In the world of Two Blue Vortex, where one mistake means death, Sarada minimizes that risk better than anyone. She shouldn't be judged by old standards. She doesn't have to out-destroy Madara to be stronger. She's already surpassed him in what actually matters in this new era: resilience, control, and the ability to keep the world from falling apart. In Two Blue Vortex, the world doesn't respond to loners anymore, it responds to systems. The Otsutsuki are ultimate parasitic systems. You can't beat them just by having more power. That's why the old school characters are becoming conceptually outdated. Madara was the peak of the war era, Sasuke was the bridge. Sarada is the new era's answer to the gods. Her potential Susanoo in this context isn't a weapon of fear, it's a structure of order. If the demonic Susanoo of the past symbolized Uchiha chaos, hers will symbolize harmony. It makes sense why we see motifs of light and protection. It's a philosophy. Her Susanoo doesn't need to be the biggest, it needs to be the most stable, one that protects the user instead of burning them from the inside. I'm about 95% sure it will manifest as a sleek set of armor. That's why the eternal Mangekyo question for Sarada is on a different level. For Sasuke and Madara, it was about tricking the system through sacrifice. For Sarada, the system might be broken from the inside. It's not how to avoid blindness, but is the curse even relevant anymore in an age where the human body is no longer the limit? Ultimately, Sarada becomes stronger than Sasuke and Madara because she outlasts their ideas. Their power required an end, her power requires a continuation. In a world of infinite enemies, the winner isn't the one who hits hardest, but the one who can hold reality together the longest. If Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex really is the point where she starts to shine as the axis of the story, the debates will finally end. The question won't be, is she stronger than Sasuke? But why did we ever compare her to the past when she is the architecture of the future? Her intelligence lets her analyze enemy abilities even faster than Sasuke could at her age. She is calm, calculated, and full of love. And, as the recent chapters pointed out, that love gives her an infinite well of motivation. I truly believe Sarada will become the greatest Hokage in history, and she won't be stuck in Boruto's shadow. She combines the best of everything: the power of the Uchiha, the discipline of the Haruno, and the will of fire from Naruto. Her path isn't a repeat of her father's. Sasuke was alone in the dark. Sarada will be surrounded by the light of her friends. Her Ohirume power is the sign that the sun has finally risen over the Uchiha clan for good. No more hate, just love, kindness, and the hope that keeps the world together. Wow, we covered a lot today. Between the breakdown of her potential and my little prediction for Chapter 30 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, there's so much to think about. From gravity spheres and sun goddess mythology, to healing flames and the Hidari Eye theory, but I want to hear from you. Do you think we'll see Sarada get a Rinnegan, or is her unique Mangekyo already beyond the eyes of a god? Do you think she'll surpass Sakura in medical jutsu? And most importantly, what color do you want our future Hokage's Susanoo to be? Drop your theories in the comments. I read every single one, and I love seeing what you guys come up with. Let's solve the mysteries of this amazing story together. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more detailed breakdowns, definitely hit that subscribe button. Your support is what keeps me going and helps me hunt down these facts. I'll see you in the next video.